Hey everyone, today we're going to cover the Powkiddy A66, also referred to as the TrimUI Model S. The Powkiddy A66 has actually been around for a few months, initially being released towards the beginning of this year, but to be completely honest, it had a lot going against it from the software side, so it wasn't very appealing. However, thanks to the very hard work from the retro handheld community, it's had a host of aftermarket support from the community itself, fantastic custom firmware created, and more emulation support, which really stretches the limits as to what it can do. And for such a tiny portable handheld, it really is a neat option now. Please bear in mind that I've updated my Powkiddy A66 to the latest custom firmware. I'll include a link to the amazing Russet Retro Game Corp's upgrade guide so you can upgrade yourself. But just bear it in mind in case you're planning to purchase the Powkiddy A66 as a gift, as if you are, I'd strongly suggest you upgrade to the custom firmware before passing it on. So included in the box, we've got the standard instructions that will walk you through the stock firmware best it can, and handheld itself. The zoom in the camera really doesn't pass across just how tiny the Powkiddy A66 itself is. It is tiny. It's a true micro console, about the size of a credit card, yet you can comfortably play the majority of the Gameboy Advance library, some PlayStation 1 games even, alongside Super Nintendo, NeoGeo and so on. The Powkiddy A66 is a really cool clear front design, which looks genuinely fantastic. You immediately notice how clicky all the inputs are though. Some absolutely love the tactile feedback that come with these clicky inputs, and given the size, the controls are remarkably good. You'll get more travel on a bigger D-pad and more accurate controls with bigger inputs, but then of course you'd have a bigger handheld. So all things considered, with the size of the handheld, I don't think they could have done much better. And design-wise, the only thing worth highlighting is that there's only the mono speaker and 2 shoulder buttons. The clear see-through design really is cool. There's an assortment of colour metal backs, which just fit really well with the design overall, and the inputs are all clearly labelled. I love how quick the Powkiddy A66 charges up, and from a full charge you can expect around 3 hours playtime. So just before I cut to pure gameplay, I just wanted to highlight some of the many benefits you get from upgrading the firmware. I've got an initial clip of Super Mario Bros. 3 which shows off just how bad the screen tearing is on stock firmware, and then cut to gameplay, the gameplay showcase that was all captured on custom firmware. I think nothing shows off just how amazing the handheld community is, as it's honestly thanks to them that this device has reached its potential. Anyway, I'll cut to some gameplay now and summarise up at the end. So the Powkiddy A66 is certainly now worth considering if you're after a micro handheld with super portability, with the caveat that you need to spend some time upgrading the firmware to make the most out of the fantastic community support this handheld has received. But with a little bit of time, you can get a lot out of its tiny frame. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching.